This Martinsville weekend gave NASCAR fans one of those moments where you sit there staring at the screen thinking, how does one penalty decision completely blow up an entire team's season? And the crazy part is we actually have two completely different layers to this story coming out of Martinsville that honestly say a lot about where this sport is right now. One layer is about a massive fine that blindsided one of the biggest names in the Cup Series before the season finale even started. And the other layer is something I honestly still cannot believe happened, because NASCAR's own penalty system ended up punishing the wrong people in a way that almost felt impossible to justify watching live. And if you have been following the Cup Series this year, then you already know these kinds of decisions can completely change playoff momentum, team confidence, and even how fans look at NASCAR's authority moving forward. So today we are breaking down the entire Bubba Wallace penalty situation because there is a lot more going on here than just a fine on paper. And hey, if you are a real NASCAR fan who lives for these race weekends and the drama that comes with them, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe to NASCAR Zone. This channel is brand new, and we are trying to hit our first 100 subscribers with people who genuinely love talking NASCAR every single week. The big story coming out of Martinsville was Bubba Wallace and 23XI Racing getting absolutely hammered by NASCAR with a brutal penalty that sent shockwaves through the entire paddock. NASCAR hit 23XI Racing with a $100,000 fine and a 50-point deduction, and on top of that, suspended crew chief Bootie Barker, spotter Freddie Kraft, and team executive Dave Rogers for the Phoenix season finale. But honestly, the situation behind that penalty was completely different from what NASCAR made it look like on paper, and that is what made this whole thing so frustrating heading into the championship weekend. Bubba Wallace never intentionally slowed down on that final lap to manipulate the race. The team later confirmed there was a legitimate issue with the right rear wheel and that the tire had gone completely bald. Co-owner Denny Hamlin backed that up publicly and made it clear the slowdown was a car problem, not a strategy call. But NASCAR handed down the penalty anyway, ruling that the slowdown allowed fellow Toyota driver Christopher Bell to pass and temporarily secure the final transfer spot into the championship four. Wallace admitted he disagreed with the team's decision not to appeal, but said he understood once they broke it all down for him. Still, the damage was done. What made the penalty even harder to accept was the timing of it for Bootie Barker personally. NASCAR's suspension meant Barker could not serve as Wallace's crew chief for one final race at Phoenix, which would have been his 103rd race alongside the number 23 team. 23XI Racing had already announced before the penalty dropped that Barker would be moving to a different role within the organization after the season, with Charles Denick coming in as the new crew chief for 2026. So Barker's final race with the team was already set, and then NASCAR's ruling took even that away from him. Wallace was emotional about it and made it clear how much Barker meant to him personally and professionally over their 3 years together. The penalty did not just hurt the team on paper. It genuinely took something away from a person who had earned his moment, and fans noticed that immediately. The broader frustration, though, goes beyond just Martinsville. NASCAR fans have watched a pattern develop around Bubba Wallace and penalties over the last couple of seasons that makes every new situation feel amplified. The $50,000 fine from the Chicago street race after contact with Alex Bowman on the cool-down lap. The pit road speeding penalties in Nashville and Phoenix earlier in the season. And now a $100,000 fine and suspensions hitting the whole team in the middle of the playoffs. Add all of that together, and suddenly every issue involving Bubba gets way more attention than it normally would. And honestly, that pressure is real because this season mattered enormously for Wallace and for 23XI Racing as a whole. When you look at this organization with Tyler Reddick running near the front consistently, Riley Herbst developing, and the expectations that come with being connected to Denny Hamlin and Michael Jordan, fans expect this team to compete at the highest level every single week. So when a penalty wipes out 50 points and suspends 3 key people heading into the season finale, people instantly start questioning whether NASCAR got this one right. What made the championship weekend even more intense was how high the stakes already were across the whole field. Christopher Bell was furious after the Martinsville penalty dropped him out of the championship four, calling himself cheated out of a fair chance to compete for the title. William Byron ended up taking that final transfer spot into the championship after Bell's disqualification, completely reshaping the title picture. And that is the part of this story that nobody should overlook. NASCAR's penalty on Wallace's team directly changed who got to race for the championship. That is not a small thing. That is the entire season for multiple drivers getting decided by a ruling that the penalized team disagreed with completely. And whether you think NASCAR made the right call or not, the reality is that one decision changed everything for Christopher Bell, for William Byron, and for Bubba Wallace's organization all at the same time. The Cup Series right now feels absolutely unforgiving in a way that goes beyond just on-track mistakes. One car issue, one contested ruling, one penalty handed down at the wrong moment, or one appeal decision can completely destroy an entire season before teams even have a chance to recover. For Bubba Wallace, Martinsville just added more pressure to an already intense career where fans and analysts are watching every single move. For Bootie Barker, a 3-year run with the number 23 team ended one race earlier than it should have because of a ruling his driver openly disagreed with. And for 23XI Racing as an organization, this penalty became a defining moment that will shape how they prepare and respond heading into 2026. That is why this sport feels so unpredictable and so emotional right now. One weekend can completely flip the narrative for a driver, a crew chief, an entire organization, and even the championship itself. And honestly, that is exactly why NASCAR fans keep watching every single Sunday no matter what. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like it and drop your thoughts in the comments because I really want to know what you think about NASCAR's penalty on Bubba Wallace and whether you believe the ruling was fair or not. And if you are a NASCAR fan who enjoys real conversations and honest opinions about the sport, subscribe to NASCAR Zone. The channel is brand new, and we are pushing toward our first 100 subscribers together as NASCAR fans. Subscribe for more.